Maybe this sounds familiar. You've watched Lightroom tutorials, bookmarked countless YouTube videos, maybe even bought a preset pack or two. You know how to move sliders, exposure, contrast, colors. But when it comes to editing, you often second guess. Shall I warm it up or cool it down? Which panel actually matters most? When do I know the edit is done? If this sounds like you, you're not alone. Most photographers learn editing backwards, focusing on how to move the sliders before they even understand the why. That's why their photos end up over-edited, under-edited, or just plain inconsistent. Hi, I'm Belinda. I've spent over 20 years photographing travel, family, landscape, and people, editing well over hundreds of thousands of photos along the way. After testing different techniques and tools, I've developed a simple Lightroom workflow that takes each photo from raw to polished, on average in seconds, sometimes minutes, without losing consistency. And today, I'm going to share with you the exact framework I use so that you can edit faster with intention and transform your life moments into lasting memories. Let's start with the foundation. Light before color. Every photo comes with light baked in. Sometimes it's harsh and contrasty with dark shadows or blown highlights. Sometimes it's flat, like overcast skies or dim indoor light. Your job is to recognize what kind of light you're working with before you touch any sliders. And when you do make changes, keep it simple. You don't need to touch every panel or apply every trick you've seen. Sometimes a photo only needs 1 or 2 light adjustments, oftentimes just in the basic panel or tone curve with targeted refining in local adjustments, which I'm going to talk about later. Here's why this matters. If you don't analyze the light first, you always end up over-editing. For example, you lower contrast in the basic panel and then add it back with an S-curve. You canceled out your efforts, wasted time, and achieved less. But if you do analyze and gain clarity on what does my photo actually need, editing becomes faster, easier, and more intentional. What about color? I see so many photographers making the same mistakes again and again, changing a color in one panel and then change it to the opposite direction in the other, just to cancel it out with extra effort. Remember this, great colors come from light, not from software. If you want your photos to look natural and consistent, analyze the light first. Make only the adjustments the photo actually needs. Once your light foundation is solid, your next decision is which color matters most. For people photos, skin tones are non-negotiable. Keep those reds, oranges, and yellows believable. I don't care how trendy your orange and teal look is, if your edit makes someone look sunburned or jaundiced, it's wrong. For landscape, it's different. Sunsets, dramatic skies, this is where you can push colors further. Those reds, oranges, purples, amplify them. The sky is not a person. It can handle more dramatic shifts. This is also why a quality preset pack for portrait might not work the best for landscapes, and vice versa. Now, what about other colors? The blues and greens that often appear in nature photos, or the browns and grays that often appear in city landmarks. Here's my easy approach. Work with what the scene is giving you, not against it. Let light guide your color choices. Warm light at sunset calls for richer, warmer tones. Cool light in rainforest or overcast conditions, cooler, muted colors feel natural. That's how you get edits that feel intentional, not forced. If this way of thinking already feels like a light bulb moment, this is exactly what I teach inside my Document Happiness photography course. A simple yet systematic approach from camera stage to post-processing that consistently gives you quality results without the overwhelm. Now, let's tackle style decisions. When to mute colors and when to keep them natural. Most serious amateurs I've met along the way want their photos to look natural. They believe a great photographer should get everything right in camera, not rely on retouch or color edits. Believe it or not, I used to think like that 15, 20 years ago as well. But here's the truth. If you shoot raw, like I do, your photos don't look natural straight out of the camera. Raw files are flat. Editing is how you bring them back to life. So the real question isn't whether to edit or not. It's how to edit with purpose. Here's my approach. If I want my subject to stand out, especially in a busy scene, I'll mute the loud colors in the distraction. Picture someone against a bright blue sky and green foliage. If those colors are screaming, your subject disappears. Mute the background colors, puts focus back where it belongs, on the person. Similarly, if a travel photo has too many colors competing for attention, muting brings calm. It creates harmony and makes the scene less distracting. Muted also creates consistency when you're editing hundreds of photos from one shoot or one trip. Different lighting, different locations, but one cohesive story. On the other hand, I keep things natural when the scene itself is the subject, like a landscape during sunrise or sunset, a tropical beach with turquoise water, or a colorful culture scene. In those moments, the energy is the colors. Muting would take the life out of the photo. The decision comes down to a simple question. Is the energy in the subject or in the colors? Let that guide your choice. Here's something most editing tutorials skip over. Consistency is just as important as perfection. Think about it. Travel, family, and lifestyle photos often live online, on blogs, social media, or sometimes in digital or printed albums. Your audience isn't looking at one photo in isolation. They're scrolling through dozens. What makes your work stand out isn't whether each shot is perfect, but whether the collection feels cohesive. That's where intentional style decisions come in. Even if your photos were taken in different locations, seasons, or lighting conditions, they should still feel like they belong together. And that comes from consistency. Repeating certain color choices, tonal ranges, or moods across the whole set. This is why a strong understanding of color theory becomes so powerful. When you know how to apply color harmony, when to use similar tones, when to use opposite colors, how to balance warm and cool contrasts, how to take your style even further, perhaps to nostalgia or moody, while still keeping your photos look natural. You can create a visual rhythm that ties your photos together. It's the difference between a random gallery and a story that flows. If you'd like me to make a video diving deeper into color harmony, let me know in the comments what challenges you the most in your photo editing. What questions would you like me to answer? Once you understand color harmony, consistency across your body of work becomes so much easier. Finally, let's talk about workflow. Global versus local adjustments. Global edits sets the stage. Exposure, white balance, overall tonal contrast, basic color grading. Local edits refine the story, such as enhancing your subject, eliminate distractions, adjust contrast, clarity, or colors in targeted areas. The trap is doing too much. Pushing a global edit, then undoing it with local adjustments. That's wasted time. Here's the truth. Less is more. Just like a great composition often comes from simplicity, editing should too. Just for the colors, Lightroom gives you 5 different panels and masking tools, but you don't need all of them for every photo. Some of these panels change colors to your entire image, while others change more selectively and precisely. Knowing how to use them is important, But it comes down after analyzing your photo and knowing what you actually need and what you want to achieve. A clear, intentional approach beats throwing every technique at every image. Let's quickly recap the framework. First, prioritize light before color. Second, protect skin tones in people photos and enhance drama in landscapes. Let the subject guide your color choices. Third, decide between muted and natural colors based on where you want your viewer's attention. Is the energy in the colors or in the subject? Fourth, aim for consistency across your body of work. Whether your photos are taken in different light, season, places, cohesive style choices, especially in color harmony, are what makes your images stand out together. Finally, use global adjustments and local adjustments smartly. Avoid throwing random adjustments or complicated techniques in every photo. A less is more workflow keeps your edits intentional, efficient, and effective. When you edit with this logic, you spend less time second-guessing and more time creating consistent, professional-looking photos. Your personal style will develop naturally because your choices are guided by clarity and purpose, not trends. If this video helped you rethink your photo retouch or even a bigger picture of how to learn photography in a systematic yet efficient approach, my Document Happiness Photography course outlines this approach step by step with guided and intentional practice to help you transform your life moments into lasting memories in days or weeks, not months or years. I'll link it in the description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you photograph most, at home or travel. What challenges you the most in editing, and what you'd like me to share in my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, and keep documenting what makes you feel alive.